good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, boys and girls and boys, men and women? Welcome to my channel. This is Adam's Apple. My name is Siseko, aka Mr. Adam, aka Mr. Adam's Apple, aka Adam the Manager, aka Adam the First Man, aka Adam First Man First. And yeah, man, it's a beautiful morning. Just got some coffee, running a bit late. I need to get to the office. We're busy getting ready for a few client meetings that we've got coming up for next week with some big brands. And yeah, it's been a beautiful week. We've been able to get quite a few clients interested in what we do. Some of them media companies, some of them brands, and it's really exciting times. So watch the space, stay on the channel. You might learn some stuff, you might learn some new things, we might remind you of some old things that you could do. And yeah, you never know, you might find out something you never found out about media and the South African market. So watch the space, and yeah, man, stay hungry, stay hungry. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm outside the office right now and I'm about to get in. I've just had a chat on the call with one of my clients that I'm meeting next week. So next week I've got 2 meetings with some pretty big clients. It could become 3. Really what we are trying to do right now is to get clients for long term. Well, midterm, not necessarily long term, because long term would be maybe about 3 to 5 years. Right now we're really trying to find some clients maybe for the next 12 to 24 months, basically because a big part of where we are as a business is that we're in a space where we're trying to showcase our capabilities and what we can do for both for our clients and all of that. And so we're sitting in a position where it's really important to show value. And so because of that, it is really important for us to actually get into a space where we are able to do that. And obviously with creating value, you can also then create case studies of sorts, as many as you can, and in different spaces. And that in itself allows you to be able to then go to bigger clients and go to vast differences in regards to clients and say, hey, this is what we did for this brand, we can do that for you too. And maybe know what mistakes were made in the previous project, maybe mistakes from the client or mistakes from our side. That happens too sometimes, where as a company you kind of you know what you know where the North Star is for the client, but through the process you realize that maybe had you done that for a media company that is in digital, it's a lot more difficult to do for a media company or a client that is not necessarily clued up when it comes to digital. Now all of a sudden you're dealing with a space where you might create a strategy and then your client struggles with creating content that fits within that strategy, or maybe they post something that has nothing to do with the lineage or the line of strategy that you've been trying to get into. And that's happened quite a few times to me personally, where clients have done that. And they have posts that are outside what we agreed, and it's like, well, what are you doing? I mean, we agreed that these are the important points and steps that we need to hit. So why are you going outside of that? And sometimes it's just because maybe they either don't understand the strategy, or they just saw something and they decided to try to be creative. And so through those experiences you learn certain things. And so there's certain clients where you'll say, you know what, okay, through this entire process we'll take over your social media so that we can start creating the blueprint for what you can post later when we're done with the strategy over or when we're done with the campaign over the set time that the client has gotten you for or wants you to consult for. And so but then there's clients where you can't do that because maybe they've got an internal department and maybe they don't have a budget for that. Sometimes we do it for free, sometimes we don't. There are big clients that won't allow you to take over the entire account because it'll be a mess. And maybe they need to get they need to get some international individual to sign off on the fact that they can give you their Facebook account or their YouTube account, and so what we then control is what they post and how they create content. But further than that, what we then control is everything, but from an external perspective. So we need to be on par and on point with every single post. So you put up notices for every single one of the accounts, so that if they post something that is not within the structure that we have or the structure that we're creating, you can call them up and say, hey, that's not going to fit in what we agreed on, please take it off, or it's too early to post something like this, let's rather post this in a month or in 2 months time, because that might destabilize whatever strategy it is that you were coming up for them. And sometimes they believe and think that just because they posted something that you maybe also thought of, that it's now the right thing because of the fact that they posted it early. But there's also timing when it comes to strategy, and timing is very key. And the people that don't know the time obviously would be us, better than the client, because of the fact that we have an external view of things. We're not personally and emotionally invested in the company from a strategic perspective, even though we might be invested from other perspectives, for instance, such as creating, making sure that they're a happy client, making sure that their business grows, etc., etc. But we're able to look at the company from a very external and different point of view, and from a different perspective to anything that they could have done. And so there are a lot of shifts in industry that you see, things that happen, and sometimes clients might disrespect you because of those things. Sometimes there might be something that happens or something that they do that causes a shift in the strategy that you need to make, in the strategy that you made. And when you say, no, so this has changed now and it needs to shift here, they're like, oh, so you don't really know what you've been talking about all along. And sometimes they're the ones that created that situation. And so a big part that I always do, or how I always attack, let me not say attack, how I always approach matters when it comes to strategy, especially because strategy can change, and a strategy that I gave to you in January is not going to work the same if you started in March, or if you started in May. It's totally not the same thing. And so how I normally come at it is that my approach is always on explaining the framework and the timeline at which the strategy needs to be used, and then also explaining the external factors, like the fact that if this is not going to work for you at such and such a time, this is going to work for you at such and such a time, this is how it needs to be applied, and that's if we're not applying it. But when we are applying it, obviously we pay all of those things in mind and make sure that we're able to fit the bill. And so I'd like to leave you with that little nugget from my end. I'm about to go in the office now. I need to get there, greet the guys, and then we're gonna have a little thought session. And then obviously we're also getting ready for next week's meetings and our clients that we need to talk to. I'm going back and forth right now trying to organize the times for the meetings, because I've got some very senior individuals that need to be present for those meetings, and everybody knows how busy these guys always are. And so yeah, I'm busy trying to do that and make sure that all the people that need to be in the meeting are at the meeting, and that they know that they need to be at the meeting, and that they actually are going to come. And so I'm also kind of showing value when it comes to that, giving them nuggets here and there, giving them information here and there, so that they can see value in this, not only from the fact that their PA or their assistant said, hey, we've got a meeting with this guy at this point in time, but also because they see value in it themselves, and they think, okay, this might be valuable for us as a brand or for as a company. Well, yeah. And so, yeah, I'll update you guys on how the day goes. And as we go forward, you're going to get a few more nuggets from me and my side, in how I'm seeing things and where I'm seeing things going. I think a big part that we are concentrating on right now, and a big service that I want to include in our business, is digital transformation. What I'm seeing is that a lot of companies want to transform from the old school of doing the old way of doing business into a digital sense, but not only into a digital sense, but into the now digital sense. That's number one. So companies that really are sucking or aren't doing well digitally because they've been doing business in a certain way, that are now trying to do things more digital, and now trying to incorporate things like apps, and now trying to incorporate digital platforms into their business strategy and their business scale. But then on the other, that's number one. But then on the other side, there's number two, with number two being companies that are on digital already, but they've been doing digital the quantitative way, and now they want to do business the qualitative way, which is where digital is now. Because now it's not just about the numbers, but it's about who those numbers are. It's about data. And it's not just big data, but it's also you could say which would be quantitative, but it's also about qualitative data in regards to knowing who that big data is, and what that big data wants, and how would it be best to serve that big data, etc., etc., etc. And so a lot of companies are trying to get into that space, and helping them kind of transform into that space and understand the importance of qualitative data, and how that can serve them in the long run, as opposed to just looking at quants and saying, okay, we've got 1 million people that are looking at our product, or that search for our product, but then you don't know who those people are, what industries they come from, why are they interested in your product, what were they searching for when they came across your product, were they searching for your competitor's product, and because your competitor was maybe too busy, they then came to you, or were they looking for you specifically? And in that way, you can kind of shift your business and look at specifics that you need to hit and specific marks that you need to get, and also how your business needs to transform going forward. So it's pretty much like what happened with Apple back in the day, where Apple was trying to be a software and hardware company that provided a certain practice, or that provided a certain service, but people might take your product and they might see something totally different and use your product for that, and you need to be able to shift from there and provide that for them. Apple was trying to get into the office space, and they realized that no, actually, our strong points are in the design space. Our strong points are in the freelance space. Our strong points are in A, B, and C, and so being able to not only see that and get that, but then apply yourself and start creating sub products or sub services for that. And that was all based on their ability to not only see quantitative data, but also see qualitative data, and then apply themselves to that qualitative data. And by doing that, they then became the biggest platform, or the biggest thing that you could use for freelancers, because of the fact that they've got everything in a package. You don't need more things. You don't need to up your RAM when you want to use certain programs. You don't need to get A, B, and C and D. If you've got a MacBook Pro, you're pretty much almost done. You can do design on it. You can use Microsoft on it. You can do all these different things, and it's capable of doing all these different things. And that's based on the fact that they realized, okay, there's this market and this free world space that's kind of growing, and once we can grow that, we can then create people that when they do come into office, when they do come into corporates, when they do come into the private sector, they bring that product knowledge, they bring that product want with them, and entrepreneurs become big businesses. And so if as an entrepreneur I was using a MacBook, of course I'm going to buy more MacBooks for my staff because I know that that's a great product. And so applying themselves to those types of things and knowing, okay, this is where our company is going, can actually impact your company quite a great deal. And so that's a big part of what we're doing right now. I'm busy creating some partnerships abroad with a few companies that are going to be helping us with that, companies that are going to be helping us with creating some products so that we can service that market, companies that are going to be helping us on a world scale or on an international scale to bring quality products for our clients. And so yeah, I'll update you guys on how that goes, and as time goes. As I said, our company is called Perspective Media. The second E is a 3, so PERSP3CTIVE Media, and our website is perspectivemedia.co.za. Check it out. Whether you just want to learn about media, or you're interested to see what I'm doing, or you're actually a person that's looking for certain services on digital, check it out, and you can see quite a few things of what we do. Obviously the product or the service will be growing as time goes, but right now we've kind of kept it compact so that we can service a set amount of clients, and we don't overstretch ourselves. I'm hoping that you guys are having a killer morning, that if you're at work, at your job, do it well, put in that effort, and I mean, shine out, man. You're there, so you might as well be there, and make the best out of it. If you're an entrepreneur, hey man, I feel your pain. I know what you're going through. I also go through it myself. It's not nice, it's emotional, but it's worth it. One of two things is going to happen if you're an entrepreneur. Number one is that you're going to learn a vast deal about your industry, and maybe if you don't succeed at your entrepreneurship, by the time you want to come back and get a job, you're going to know a whole lot. And even though you might maybe come in and start at the bottom, which I doubt, because most of the time entrepreneurs, when they come in and they hit hard. When you come in, if you start at the bottom, you're going to know a lot, and it's going to be quicker and easier for you to grow in whatever company or industry. But most of the time, what happens to entrepreneurs is that when you come into private or into corporate and you get a job, it's normally a high-profile job because they have seen your growth. They have seen you run a business of the same type, and you've got clients, and you've got all of this other value that is way above the other people that you might be competing with for that position. And so that might happen. Look, man, it's not disgraceful. It's what needed to happen. That was your life's path. If on the other side your business does grow, it does boom, it does become successful, stay humble, stay hungry, don't get complacent. And yeah, I'm hoping you guys have the best day ever. You have a good payday, that you have a good weekend, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Have a good morning. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the vlog. As I told you, I'm at the office, and when I'm at the office, everybody knows that Mr. Tom is on the vlog. And so we are walking to Pick and Pay. He needs to do something which I will not name. I need to get food, so I've done this thing. So what happened is that, let me give you the whole story. What happened is that last week, I was going to go to an event, and just before I went to the event, I tried on one of my suits. So I was trying on my different suits, and when I tried on this one suit that I liked very much, it didn't fit. So I have now gone into full mode with my diet. I'm doing 1 meal a day, and obviously like me, still running every day. And so he thinks I'm trying to look like him.
Because I lost 15 kg.
Whatever.
Don't play.
Whatever.
I lost 15
anyway,
kg.
So that's what's happening right now. So I'm gonna get my 1 meal for the day, and then he's gonna get this thing of his that he needs to get. I need
to buy a fucking Tilili phone, guys.
He needs to get a phone because I don't know what he did to his phone.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what's going on right now. and then it's back to the office. A big part of what I'm experiencing right now, as I said, I will come back and give a bit more information. I'm a bit pissed off, I'm a bit annoyed, greatly because I'm experiencing a lot of silence. A lot of silence from a lot of clients, a lot of silence from a lot of promises. A few people that we had spoken to, and they had said that they'd get back to me at a specific time, and as of right now, it's just silent, man. It's just silence and silence and silence, which obviously pisses me off a bit and annoys me, but it's all good. It'll be fine. We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it moving, and at the time when they do need us and they do come back, we'll service them. So in the meanwhile, there are the clients out there, and there are the people that need our services, and so that's what we're concentrating on. So I guess the message and what I'm learning from it is to just keep it going and keep it moving, regardless of the situation and regardless of what's happening. Not everyone's always going to be there, and you can't get 1 or 2 clients and think that you're good because they're giving you enough money, because once in a while one of them's not going to need you for something, and you're going to need to back yourself up. And so yeah, it's some learning that's happening there, I guess. Thank you guys for keeping up with us, and as I said, I'm gonna keep it real, and I'm gonna keep it coming. Every time we're doing something, I'm just waiting for one of my clients to confirm one of the meetings I told you guys about. We're in Pick and Pay right now, and so yeah, watch the space and keep it moving. Hey, what's happening, guys? Leaving Mall of Africa right now. It's been a rough afternoon, and yeah, man, we've got an evening meeting with the team, and so I need to make it for that, which means I need to rush because I think I'm 5 to being late, and so yeah, fun times being an entrepreneur. I'm gonna update you guys on my way back home after the meeting, and as I always say, you guys can smash that subscribe button and like our videos if you really like it and you like the content. I'll give you some concept on what we're trying to do in regards to our clients. As I said earlier, we're doing a lot of digital transformation and other services as such, and we've got a few partnerships that are coming through as a result of that, and so we're really trying to push the buck on that, but that does also mean that we need to have a lot of strategy meetings and strategy sessions as a team, which is the reason why we're in the position that we're in right now. Unfortunately, some of us have jobs, which also means that they're not always available. So when we have meetings or strategy sessions, it's either on the weekend or in the evenings in the week. And so right now I need to handle one of those because we've got a big meeting coming up. Yeah, I'm hoping that you guys are having a fun time, having a fun day, fun payday. The streets are heavy, people have gas money. It's always a funny one on the 25th. Everybody has gas money, so like there's like 1 million cars on the street. Anyways, I'm hoping you guys are doing well, that you had a good day, that you having a great setup to the weekend, and that you're rad, man. Keep it going, keep pushing, keep fighting, and stay well. Peace.